Welcome guys to Comics and Movies. I'm your host, Jake from ComicManJake, and with me is Ryan from Blurb TV. Say hi, Ryan. How you doing?
What's up, y'all?
Alright, so in this episode of Comics and Movies, we're going to be doing some more theory crafting. Basically, we're going to be taking some comics and basically seeing how we're going to make them into an actual movie. We'll give a short description on what the comic is, and then we'll pitch what we think, what we do in this, who we would want to star in it, and we'll just see how it goes from there. So, as the guest, Ryan will start.
Awesome. So, thank you so much for having me. I thought a lot about this, and a lot of the comics that I have, people may or may not be familiar with it, but we're going to give it a shot. The first one that I want to talk about is one that I'm actually not too familiar with, but it sounds really, really cool. It's a comic book called 100 Bullets, and it's about a gun and 100 untraceable bullets that you could use to essentially just get away with murder. And that is like a cool concept to me. So I feel like that would be like a really cool like action thriller that like Guy Pearce would star in. If you are familiar with Guy Pearce, he plays in Memento, and he plays in LA Confidential and many other movies like that. He's just got like a really grittiness to him that I feel like he would be a thrilling, brute kind of anti-hero, if you want. I think it'd be really, really cool.
Yeah, that's a cool one. I've heard of that. I think is it a Vertical comic, or is it an Image?
I don't know, because I just recently heard about it the other day, and I thought because immediately when I heard the story, I thought this would be like a cool premise for a movie. And like immediately, like a few people popped in my head, and Guy Pearce is one of them. So like I'm definitely gonna pick that book up. But like I just thought it would be a really cool concept.
Yeah, I could. Oh wow, you could turn that into either a movie or a series. I'm thinking, man, that's just
that like a series would be kind of cool too. Because like if there's 100 bullets, maybe every episode could be like for one of those bullets. I don't know. It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. So. For me, I'm going to go a little, nerdy style and do Fantastic Four. John Krasinski has been, like, the main theory that everyone sees him as. And just, like, I cannot see him playing any other character than Mr. Fantastic. And, like, to, like, go into the story right now, I mean, the story that they have right now is, well, actually, I would go into Secret Wars. Secret Wars is basically, like, the culmination of the universe's ending. And, Doctor Doom rewrites the universe and basically makes it into his own. And Reed Richards has to, when Doctor Doom takes the whole universe and kind of meshes it all together, Reed gets away in a ship, and he has to basically fight through all these like different universes. It's really cool, and I mean, I think it'd be just a kind of cool concept maybe to get. That would be maybe what you could get the Marvel Cinematic Universe to turn into, where you can just have that like Secret War, bring them all together and have that little Fox, the Fox people and the Marvel people in there. So.
No, that would be way cool, because this is actually something that me and the Stuff of Legend has talked about. If you are familiar with his channel, we did an interview and we talked about the crossover that Fox and Disney will make, and we honestly we went on for a while about not only talking about that crossover, but like how John Krasinski would be the perfect Mr. Fantastic. I know that that's like kind of in like the works, like that through the grapevine a little bit,
really,
like trying to make things happen. But like if it doesn't ever happen, like Secret War would be way cool. Not to mention because Marvel's like trying to step into that cosmic kind of stuff. I think it would be like next level stuff for Marvel.
Yeah, definitely. All right, you got any more?
Oh, dude, I got stuff for days.
You got
so one of my favorites that I am currently reading, because it's a really long series, there's no way it would be a really good movie, but it would be an amazing like TV show, and it would be an amazing like adult TV show like Westworld is, or like I mean, it's not like epic like Game of Thrones, but it could be. But like anything on Showtimes or HBO, I feel like Why the Last Man by Brian would be one of the coolest shows ever made. If you're not familiar, if any of you are not familiar with that story, think of anything that has a Y chromosome, so anything that is male, whether that's human, plant, or even like animal. What if they all just died? And that's what this comic book is about, is that it's a world run by women because they're the last alive, except for one guy. He survived, and his pet monkey, who is also a male. Sounds really weird, but like I'm really into that like post-apocalyptic kind of world, because what happens, like if you can imagine half of the population of the world just like being eliminated, like a lot of like stuff would hit the fan, and it totally does. And it's so cool to see like how they kind of like pick up the pieces. It's a really cool series. I love that book. It's awesome.
So you would recommend that?
I would totally recommend it. If you haven't read it before, if you've never even heard of it, like definitely go pick it up, because it's like it's very episodic. It feels like a TV series. It feels like, I don't know, there's a lot of different characters, and I feel like Brian K. Vaughan, who has done Saga, if you've ever heard of that.
I've heard of it.
Amazing stuff. He and Paper Girls, amazing. He just writes so well, and I think that like, because I don't know, have you ever seen the TV show Lost?
Yeah.
Yeah, he also wrote that show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, among a few other people, yeah, like in the comic book world. All the writers were comic book writers in Lost. And so like I liked Lost for the most part, because funnily enough, it lost me halfway through. But like the way that he was able to write all the characters and everything would have a very similar feel to what's going on in Why the Last Man. Awesome series.
That sounds like an awesome series. Jeez. I gotta write these books down, dang.
Yeah, dude. Why the Last Man, Brian K. Vaughan. If you haven't read anything by Brian K. Vaughan, stop what you're doing now and read.
I don't know about that, man. I'm reading my that Captain Marvel book, and it's pretty good so far.
Yeah, I know. I'm not like Why the Last Man has been sitting on my nightstand table, like bedside table, for like the last couple weeks, because I'm so like invested in the woods, which is actually one that I wanted to talk about. But I want to hear your next one. So what were you thinking?
My next one, actually, I'm gonna skip around, is actually the Sandman. The Sandman is actually one of my favorite. I didn't realize how much of a gem of a comic it is until like they had a huge sale on it, and I just was like, I've heard of it, and I picked up the first volume, and I was just like, holy cow! And they had one in the works a while ago, with like Jordan Gordon-Levitt was gonna star in it, and I had no idea when I heard about that, but now like reading it, like I want to see that movie. For those who don't know, the Sandman is basically like the like entities of certain things, and the Sandman is the dream entity. He lives in a world called dreams, and any type of dream, nightmare, anything, that's his realm. He can control it. He can make you, live in an everlasting like sleep or something. It's kind of cool, because it's just like, I mean, I would see Jordan Levitt's now doing it. Jordan Gordon-Levitt's actually doing it, and just the whole like, we don't see a lot of the DC's like faith side. Like this one runs with like death. What was it? Oh crap. There's like other entities, and I can't for the life of me think. I know death's one of them. But yeah, I mean, but it would just, if they could make that into a movie, the whole like Sandman universe right now is just fantastic. Lucifer is one of the guys. That's one of them. If you've watched these TV series, it's just the whole like universe in that thing is just it's hard to describe, but I would love to see it as an actual movie.
I didn't know that Joseph Gordon-Levitt was going to. Well, like I didn't know that he was going to be the lead. Like I knew that they had talked about him being in the movie. Was he supposed to be the Sandman?
I think he was. Like he
That
was
would
either
be
supposed
pretty
to,
cool.
yeah, either he was supposed to direct it or he was supposed to direct and lead in it. But
Interesting.
it's like that was bad. I went and bought the other volumes. There's 10 volumes. I bought 4 before. Now I just bought all 10 because I was like, I
Yeah,
gotta finish.
don't sweat it. Like we've all been there.
Yeah, it's good. It's good though. I mean, the Sandman universe. It was like really like my first like indie comic. I know it's not. It's Vertigo's still DC, but it was kind of still. It's still just. If you haven't read it, it's oh, it's so
I
good.
swear, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but and I haven't read it, but I swear they've made a crossover with some of the superhero DC characters, like Batman and Superman.
Mhm.
With it's like Sandman, Batman, or whatever it is. I don't know. Is that correct?
He is in. Well, the first thing that you see in the Sandman universe is like when you read the first volume is it's set in the DC universe. The first thing you see is a picture of Green Lantern and Batman like interrogating this one guy, and he's like, "Oh, that's my gem that I lost," and it's like, "Oh." So, and he was in recent. Scott Snyder put him in the Dark Knight's Metal series.
Oh, that's right.
So he was in there for a bit because he was explaining. So Dream has this library where it's like every like martyr or author, like every type of like story you can think that they thought of, it's in that library. And like it's cool because at one of the volumes, like Neil Gaiman talks about like Mark Twain's like lost stuff and like what was it and other ideas that they were just putting out there. And it's just man, Neil Gaiman knows
That's
how to
cool.
write.
Yeah, man. He wrote a book that blew my mind. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite books because it's like acquired taste, but he does one. He did one that's very similar to the idea of what Sandman is, and it's called American Gods, where what if all of the deities, like old deities, were around today? What if they were real? And it's a crazy book, and that is actually a TV show on, I think, Stars. I don't watch Stars, but way cool stuff. Like the audiobook is like read by the entire cast of that TV show. It's pretty cool. It is a freaking trip though, because Neil Gaiman, like, I feel like he's
trippy.
He is yeah, dude, he's like the personification of imaginary. If he was like his own character in Sandman, like there's the Sandman that can control dreams, he would be imaginary because he has the wildest imagination.
It's so crazy when you read it stuff because it's like I never like I was like this stuff just sounds when I first heard about it I was like this sounds stupid, and then I was like I read it and I was like, how the heck have I been missing out on this? But
right, I know. That's how I feel about comic books in general because I feel like the stigma with comic books is that all of them are stupid. It's just a bunch of stupid writing. I feel like a lot of people think that comic books are the step down of what movies are. Like oh, you wrote a comic book? You mean you couldn't write a movie, so you just wrote a comic book? Like no, like there's better, in my opinion, in some books there are better stories meant for comic books. Like they could never work for movies. Like Saga is a great example. Like it was the mere like epicness. Like I feel like a movie could capture that, but like the way that Brian K. Vaughan like made the characters connect with each other and just like the way that they were able to portray that in the art, I just feel like there's no other way that you could do that. Like this was meant for a comic book, and I feel like there are comic books that are meant for movies, but then there's comic books that you should never touch.
Yeah.
So like for one that I feel like a lot of people would think it sounds really stupid is actually my favorite comic book that I've read, like my favorite series that I've read probably ever. Like, and I've talked to you about it many times, and I just barely mentioned it. and it's written by, and I don't know how to pronounce his name correctly. James Tynion the Fourth.
Tinian.
Tinian. Oh my gosh, I don't
It's
know.
Tinian. Yep, it's
James,
James
and
Tinian
he's
the
wrote
Fourth.
a bunch of stuff. Like people might be familiar with him with his detective comics with Batman and Batman and Ninja Turtles kind of stuff. But he wrote The Woods. That is awesome. It's just, I feel like when I first heard it, I was like, that sounds stupid. And just like you said with the Sandman, it's about a high school that is out of nowhere in thin air is transported to another planet, and that's it. Yeah, sounds dumb. It sounds way dumb, but it's not. It's way cool, and I think it would make, like, if it were to ever to be adapted into anything, like it has to be a TV show.
Oh yeah.
Because it's just there's so many. You're talking about an entire high school, so there's so many kids, there's so many characters, there's teachers and everything, and just like the way that he balances everything would be perfect. Not to mention, like, it would be really cool to see like a different world, like in the comic book. This is probably my favorite comic book, and I would watch the crap out of it if it was a TV show. Because the whole point of the comic book isn't just like oh, let's have fun on another planet. It's about growing up in a different environment. Like I feel like Tinian tried to write about how it is to grow up in outside of your comfort zone, and that's exactly what this is, because they're all out of their comfort zone. They're in a whole different planet. They're dealing with crazy things, and it's about how these kids grow up more than anything else. It's way cool.
It actually sounds kind of cool. Now that you, like I said, when you first, I remember you were talking about that a lot. You were talking about the woods, and I was like, what? And I looked it up a bit, and I was just like, this does kind of sound intriguing. But the way you got it, I mean, it's like, dang. Like I said, I've been telling people on my channel, I'm trying to get more into the indie comics, and you're like, for those who don't know, he's the indie guy. Like literally, I call him the indie guy because he knows indie comics galore, and he reads. I mean, heck, you love it. I mean,
I'm glad I'm known as that. I'm glad I have a title. It's good to hear.
You are the indie guy, so this has turned into more like what comics we could see as series now and stuff. So it works.
Yeah, it's weird. I've got a few that would be good as a movie though.
Knock yourself out.
Like,
oh yeah, I
So
have like literally nothing else I can think of at the moment. So keep on going because I'm thinking.
So when it comes to like superheroes, I'm very much out of my league. But like for the longest time, and I'm gonna be mentioning some that will be turning into comics, but like, and this has been one that so many people have been talking about, but like, I have been wanting to see a good Green Lantern movie because because I don't know Green Lantern. All I know is the movie. That's it. Like, I own Secret Origin, like that trade, but like, and I haven't dove into it. I've had it like for forever, but like, I've never read it. I'm very familiar with it because the movie is very much based on. The Ryan Reynolds movie is based on that. And I remember reading a few pages of it and watching the movie when I was living in Houston at the time. We all went and everything, and my roommate was like super obsessed with the Green Lantern, and he was super disappointed after the movie. But I remember thinking that my favorite TV show is Firefly, and Nathan Fillion would be best Hal Jordan, like ever. And that is not new. That like my thinking is not new. Like that has been on the internet so much. But like, let's be honest. Like he really would be one of the best. He's just too old, and I just don't see it happening.
Well, I mean, the funny part is he did kind of play Green Lantern. He played it in an animated movie, Justice League Doom.
That's true.
He did play that, and when I heard that, I was like, yes. But yes, I mean, Jeff Johns made an amazing Green Lantern run, and like Secret Origins, I have his 3 omnibuses, so they're the thick, big, about this thick. Right. You're reading like what the Secret Origin, that's in like the 2nd omnibus, so that's like midway through. Like midway through, he decided to do an origin, and I was kind of like, okay, but I agree too. I want a good Green Lantern movie, and I'm actually excited because he is actually going to be producing, I think, and writing the Green Lantern movie, and he has confirmed that Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart are in the movies. So that's why I can't.
So like I know that they're going to make a movie because first off, I wouldn't even say it's an Easter egg or a tease, but the Green Lantern Corps does exist in the cinematic universe for DC because we saw it in Justice League. So I know it's gonna happen, but like for the movie that I want, it would have Nathan Fillion. But I can't have everything because I also want him to play Nathan Drake from Uncharted. And did you see that short film?
I saw like I was at work. I think you sent me that or someone sent me that, and I was at work. No, it was on Twitter. I was watching it, and I was like I gotta be secretive about this, and, you know. But like I had to wait till my break, and then I totally blanked out on it. But it looked awesome. It looked awesome.
And that was another one that I and my friends, and I'm not a video game kind of guy. I don't play video games very much, but I was and am familiar with that game, and watching my friend play it, we would just talk all the time. Like, isn't this guy like this is Mal from friggin' Firefly? Like Nathan Fillion would be amazing to play him, and like I don't know why, because I think they chose Tom Holland to play as Nathan Drake.
What?
Yeah, I know. I could be way wrong because I'm just not really well versed when it comes to video games. But then, like after that announcement, that short film came out, and everyone just like freaked out. I was like, "This is the guy you really need."
Yeah.
The thing is, the thing is that he's too old, and I don't think studios would produce that.
That's the magic of CGI. No. But
yeah,
but Tom Holland is.
I could be wrong. Maybe it's set in the Uncharted universe, and he's like a spin-off character. But I do remember that Tom Holland's name was in the mix of like one of the main characters in there. I don't know, because again, like I don't really pay attention to video games, and I probably should. Maybe I should look into that because that makes me, if it really is Tom Holland, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you see, I used to be a gamer, and then after I had a child, I decided I had to stop. And I mean, I heard about Uncharted. My friend Professor Marks always talks about it. He loves the game. So I'm very familiar with it. I know it's based it's like an Indiana Jones thing, right? Kind of, if I'm thinking right. Yeah. So
yeah, totally.
Yeah, I could see that. That might actually be a good video game movie. I'm not gonna lie. I'd actually watch that.
Like, if any of you have not seen the short film of Uncharted with Nathan Fillion, go check it out and then come back here and write in the comments and say like if you would or would not see that full movie, because that was pretty awesome. Put it in the link
down below. The description down below.
Do it.
Watch it.
Do it for sure.
It. Push it.
So yeah, I mean, we went off topic a little bit there, but like Green Lantern with Nathan Fillion would be amazing. Now I don't know who they've said. Like I did hear that Jon Stewart was going to be in it, and I haven't really thought of who would be a good like actor for him.
Who's the guy who plays Heimdall?
Really?
Who do you?
Idris Abella?
Yeah. What about him?
I could see that.
Him or who's another one?
It's funny because I was going to talk about Idris in another one that I think would be really cool.
No, we can still use that, but
no, it's crazy. It's just like there's so many great actors out there, but I feel like there are a lot of actors and actresses that would be great for everything.
Yeah.
And I feel like Idris would be like great for any role, like period, because he's like one of my favorite actors. And like if anyone is familiar with Image's title Nailbiter,
I've heard of that.
Another one of my favorites. I think I've mentioned it to you a couple times. Nailbiter. It might not be for everyone. It's definitely for me though, because I'm like obsessed with serial killers. And
wow.
this book is about a town that like is notorious for having like a third of America's serial killers. It's a town called Buckaroo in Oregon, and there are
Buckaroo.
16 serial killers that have come out of that town. And so people have done investigations on it, and they try and figure out why this is, why so many people are coming out of this town as a serial killer. And the main character of this book is a guy who is an army interrogator, like he's kind of like a detective for the army.
Okay.
And one of his friends, who is a police officer detective, goes up there, an FBI agent actually. He goes up there to go and try and figure out why this nail biter serial killer. This is a serial killer who has a thing about. And this sounds graphic. Sorry.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry if this is a kid's show.
No, it's
But
it's you've been warned. This is if you got kids right now, shut it off for a bit. We'll give you a signal when it goes
All
up.
right.
I'll do this when it's good.
All right, so earmuffs for now. The serial killer nail biter, that's what they call him. He chews off the fingernails of his victims
Ugh.
before he kills them. But the way that he chooses them is that if he sees anyone with having the bad habit of chewing their nails, he essentially just does it for them and then kills them afterwards. But the thing is that and this isn't a spoiler at all, but the book begins with him being caught, but then he gets let off. Like when he goes to court, the jury decides that he's not guilty. And so like the whole like thing of this series is, why the heck did he get off? But at the same time, the main character's friend goes to investigate further, and he goes missing. And so this main character, the guy who I want to be Idris Abella, who plays Heimdall, to come in and try and figure out what happened to him, as well as try and figure out the case of all these crazy serial killers. It's nuts. It's crazy. And he meets up with this woman detective that is there, and I think that she would be, and this might be controversial, but like I feel like Kristen Bell would be awesome with her role, with being her, because she's a very likable person, but she's like really feisty, and I feel like she would do really, really great there. And I think that would be a matchup. Idris and Kristen Bell would be an awesome team together on such like a dark, and like it's really suspenseful too. It's one of the most suspenseful comics I've ever read, and that's probably why I liked it so much. So check it out, Nail Biter.
Nail biter. Now I don't want to bite my nails. Jeez. Okay, but the graphic's gone. But now I really don't want to bite my nails.
Yeah, I know. That's like that freaks you out. It'll freak you out with a lot of things. There's a lot of like really disturbing things in there, but like I'm into that kind of stuff. Me and my wife are really into the whole serial killer kind of thing.
So I'm guessing you watched, what was that series? The Following, then?
Oh my gosh, I freaking love that show.
That one, like I was like, why am I watching this? This is so bad, but not like bad, like like horrible acting, but like, why am I watching this? This is so graphic, but it's like,
yeah, it's like super intriguing. That has a very similar feel to Nailbiter.
okay.
Now that I think about it, now that you mention that, it feels very, very similar to that. Like The Following, because like the whole town is kind of like that. They kind of like the fact that they have this legacy, but also they like are trying to figure it out as well. So they have their own kind of cult following as well. So it's like it's really weird. Like it's awesome, but it's like it's something that you wouldn't ever expect.
Well, I mean, when you're talking about reading graphic, what was it? Sandman, in one of the issues, talking about serial killers. I know we're going off topic, but um, there's a section where there's a secret like serial killers convention, and they're all like, there's panels and everything, and it's just like,
Interesting.
it's just one of the girls that dreams like following around, but it's just like, it's so it was so weird. Like, here's these famous serial killers and everything, and they're all meeting up. It was I think it's in the second volume. Yeah, if you're reading that, Sandman, if you're like, you would like that.
Interesting. What was it called?
It's Sandman.
Oh, it's just Sin. Okay, well
Sam,
then I'm
well, I don't
familiar.
know.
I
I don't
haven't
know. I
read
don't know what
very
the second. I
much.
don't know what the other one's called. The second book's called. But I think it's in the second volume. I'll have to look it up. I'll send it
Gotcha.
to you. But yeah. So let me think. Another one. Hmm. Kingdom Come. Have you heard of that comic?
Right, yeah, I remember you talking about on your Snapchat when you did those 10-second reviews of comic books.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually realize now those things aren't 10 seconds. We put it. I have an IG TV and I put a time clock on it, and I realized halfway I was like, wait, that's not 10 seconds. That's 15. Oops. But Kingdom Come is a cool comic. It's what it is the so a superhero Joker goes and basically kills a lot of people, and a superhero, a new up and coming superhero called Mongrel, I think his name is, uh, just sorry, hold on, no, that's not how it goes. Superman captures him. He goes to court. Joker goes to court. He's about to get off. Mongrel pops up and pops him in the head, and society celebrates. They celebrate, and Superman's basically like, "Screw this, I'm out," and he leaves.
Right.
And then so that brings a whole bunch of these new generations of superheroes coming in, and they are just crazy. I mean, they're just like they're taking it's more vigilantism, not being hero, but more like taking the law into their own hands, and just it gets crazier and crazier and crazier. I mean, eventually Superman has to Wonder Woman tries to recruit Superman back, being like they need you, and like there's just it's just basically imagine Civil War, like Marvel
Okay.
Civil War, but
It
DC.
sounds like Civil War mixed with the Rebirth Batman, like
Yeah,
I Am Gotham.
yep,
Interesting.
it is, and the art in the comic is fantastic. But like I could see an old Henry Cavill, because like it's the Superman. Look up the Kingdom Come logo. It's different. It's the S is more like like a zigzag more, not more like
Hmm.
a standard S, and it's not uh yellow and red. It's red and black, and it's just I could see like all the old characters still doing it because it's these characters are in their 80s and they're still fighting, and it's just and Billy Batson Shazam is on there, but he's an adult, and he's just every time he says Shazam he just stays as an adult, but it's a really cool like comic, and at the end like uh it's just it's a really cool comic, and I could definitely see that if they wanted to like do an Elseworld or a movie or just make a different movie on it but use that same cast. It'd be Kingdom Come would be amazing.
Yeah, it sounds really cool. Like it almost sounded like Batman Dark White Knight while
Oh,
you were saying it. And then like it took a crazy turn. So like at first I like you had said that it has like a lot of like Godzilla kind of stuff. Is that the one that you were talking about?
no, that's
I think that
Leviathan.
was. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's not the one you're
Leviathan,
talking
yep,
about.
that's the
I
one that
remember you talking about this one, and I guess somehow it kind of just escaped me that Superman was in it. But it sounds like he's like the main. Because is this a Superman comic book?
no, it's actually a mini series. It was a series. It's just called Kingdom Come, and it doesn't follow it. Superman's a part of it, but it follows actually a preacher. And the Spectre, if you know who he is, he's the
Yeah.
yeah, he's like walking through like the Revelations. There's Revelations. He's walking through like here are the signs of Revelation, like the end of the world is coming, and it's because of these superheroes, and it's really kind of
Interesting.
cool. Yeah, it's a really cool concept. I mean, at the end, like Superman's gonna go and take spoiler. Superman's like gonna like start destroying like the UN, and like Spectre, I can't remember the character's name. It's like Harold or something. He like makes him pop up for an instant, and basically he calms Superman down, being like, "Look what you're doing. Like you're not, helping. You're not being a Superman." I'm summarizing, but it's just it's a really cool comic if you haven't read it, and it would make a
Yeah, I'll have to look
fantastic
into that.
movie.
Cool. So you're thinking set in the DC universe, or it's called the Worlds of DC now, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't I
Well,
don't know what it's called.
it could be like it could be like way in the future. I mean, because these guys are old. Like Clark, the end actually tells you like when they all are at peace and everything. Like apparently Wonder Woman and Clark are a thing. Wonder Woman and Superman are a thing because they have a kid or they're expecting. And Batman, they want Batman at the end. Like they asked Batman. Well, Batman figures it out. He's like, "We wanted to ask you something." He's like, "You're pregnant." And yeah, I'll be the Godfather. it's, it's this old Batman with like all these like canes and everything, but he's still beating people up.
Interesting. That's crazy. That's cool.
Yeah.
So I have a few others that I've been thinking about, but it's more of the sense that they're going to be made.
Okay.
But I don't think they're gonna follow through with it.
Okay. Go ahead.
Recently, I don't know if you're familiar with the title Cowboy Ninja Viking, but Chris Pratt was actually going to play the main character in that comic book, and that comic book is freaking weird, but it's way cool. And it recently just got canceled just the other day, and I thought that's such a bummer because I was looking forward to Chris Pratt like arguing with himself. It's about if the government had like a super soldier by putting in past lives into him. So think Bloodshot, except for he personifies those characters all at one time. So like if he wants to tap into his skills of being a ninja, he just lets the ninja reincarnation of him take over, and he goes to town as a ninja. And if he wants like the Viking to be like if he wants to be really stealthy, he'll tap into the ninja. If he wants to be really brutal, he'll tap into the Viking. Or if like he wants to just be like a really good marksman, he'll tap into his powers or his past lives. So like he's schizophrenic, but only because the government has made him that way. And I thought like that would be way cool. And if you haven't read that comic book, for anybody, like they do. The artwork is an acquired taste. It's pretty cool, but like the speech bubbles is really cool because like the whole time like he's having arguments with his other personalities, like the Viking might be fighting with the cowboy because they don't see eye to eye with everything. And so in the speech bubbles it has like an axe as like the speech bubble, kind of in a way.
Okay.
And then like pistols for the cowboy and like a katana. It's really, really cool. I would say that comic book like was very innovative for its time and probably still today. And I was really looking forward to seeing that as a movie because it would be hilarious and it would be like super action packed, like way cool. But they just canceled it. So for my list, I would say bring it back. I think it would be way cool.
Have you ever heard of Moon Knight?
Yeah, it's very similar to Moon Knight.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna say. It sounds
in a way.
In a way, it sounds.
It's got
like
its own little spin on it.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what intrigued me about it. That's what I'm like. Wow, that sounds like Moon Knight. And he's one of my favorites. I'm hoping that they will eventually put him onto a series of some sort, or maybe get his own movie. I mean, he's literally Batman. For those who don't know, Moon Knight is literally Batman, but schizophrenic. He has multiple personality disorders. He thinks he's three different people. It's like oh crap. It's I think it's a taxi driver, a film producer, and then a mercenary. Yeah, a mercenary. Bendis, if you're reading the Bendis version, which is really trippy, it's Captain America, Wolverine, and Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think that has been on my list for I would love to see this as a movie, but like because those of you who don't know, it's a Marvel title, and I don't know if Marvel is in the position to make like because it's really dark. Like he's a really dark person, so I don't know where it would fit when it comes to And it doesn't have to be an MCU movie. I feel like everybody tags anything Marvel to be like, oh, that's part of the MCU. Like, it doesn't have to be. But I feel like once Marvel gets to a point to where they can have their mainstream audience know that we're just making movies because we own these titles and we just want to make money, I feel like Moon Knight would be a really cool one. I just don't know how they would do it justice for it to be kind of like happy-go-lucky like we've seen with everything else.
Well, they could put it in the Netflix series, like the Daredevil series, and the.
That is true. I have not thought of that.
Yeah, they could do that because that can get pretty dark. That can get pretty.
Oh yeah.
That can get pretty dark. Let me think. What's another one? Go ahead if you got more. I'm just thinking.
You know what? I think is I'm gonna predict the future. So like 15 years from now, and we look back at this, we could be like, hey, that guy from Nerdy Blurb TV YouTube channel was right. And I'm just
you heard it first, guys. You heard it first.
I think that 10, 15 years from now, maybe even 20, Netflix will be gone, or it will be absorbed by Disney. Or because I feel like a lot of people are not on board with this DC universe, like the streaming service. Like I think it's a freaking amazing idea. I think it's way cool, and I think Marvel Unlimited is going to tap to that big time. And so I think once Disney gets their streaming service up, whether that's freeform or they come up with their own thing, I think you're going to see like a Marvel Unlimited streaming service. And you saw with DC Universe, like Swamp Thing, Teen Titans, and Young Justice, all of that stuff. I bet you anything we start seeing titles that Marvel's going to tap into, and I bet you we see Moon Knight on something like that.
I could see that. Definitely. And we do know that Disney is going to be doing their own streaming service, and they are putting Marvel stuff in there. So it might be a part of the Disney thing, or you're right. Marvel Unlimited, they need to update. They need to update with that. But, what was I going to say? But, what is your feelings, actually, with the DC universe? Are you actually going to plan on getting that, or no?
Probably not, just because, like... I don't watch very many movies or TV shows anymore. Ever since I started doing making videos, I'd rather make them than watch them. So I don't know. That's just me. But whenever I do, I just turn on Netflix and I'm fine with whatever's on there. But the thing is that when Disney makes their streaming service, I'll do that before DC, because I know now that Disney has acquired Fox. I mean, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, the only reason why you did that, Disney, is so you can have the X-Men. That's so not true.
There's a lot
Fox,
more. Yeah.
Fox owns a quarter of all of the copyright streaming service movies. So Disney will own everything when it comes to streaming. So I'm going to be going there, and out of all the things that I pay for, like Netflix, Hulu, Spotify, Comixology, I just feel like there's too many things that I'm paying for, and I don't think DC's going to make that list.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I haven't bought it yet. Right now they have a deal where you can get it for $75 and you can get 3 months free. You get a year and you get an extra 3 months. And it's your Titans trailer didn't really sell me.
Yeah.
So
me neither. The only thing that I would be interested in watching is probably Swamp Thing. That's it.
Yeah.
That's about the only if they made a Sandman series on DC, I'd probably get it immediately.
Oh, I would. I'd be in the first one, and I'd get it and just watch it and then cancel it.
But if they're willing to branch out a little bit more like that, because if you want to talk about superhero fatigue, we're starting to get there.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not there. For me myself, I can't get enough of it. I mean, look at us. We're talking about this stuff right now, and we both have channels on this kind of stuff. We love it, but we're gonna get sick of it eventually. Like I talk about this. I talk about this in one of my videos on my channel, but like I just feel like Hollywood is just so freaking lazy. Like
Yeah.
they're like, oh, this works, so let's just keep doing this for the next 20 years. When really, we really will get sick of it. Like, I don't know if they talk to their audience very much, but like maybe us as an audience, we're just not willing to admit the fact that one of these days we're gonna get sick of it, because there are comic book movies in the mix that I just feel like will not work at all. And I feel like the only reason why they're doing it is because they can slap a Marvel logo on it, and it'll be like everybody will like it because Marvel's on it. But like eventually that is going to be worn out.
I agree.
So like I feel like they need to like pick the right ones first before they go crazy. I'm talking about DC. Like Swamp Thing, yeah, that would be great, but like Teen Titans to me has always been a kid show, and I love that show. And now to see it like dark and like crappy CGI, sorry guys, like it looks
I agree.
sucky. It looks sucky, but like I don't doubt the writing. Like I watched recently a video from Dark Knight Nation. Go check out his channel. He's a pretty cool dude.
Too, the live one.
But I just saw an episode of him talking to one of the writers, and like he sounds like some of his work, if you haven't seen any of it, awesome stuff. Like I don't doubt the writing, I doubt the rushed CGI that DC's been doing.
Or the crappy like I have to say, like the crappy like camera angles too.
Yeah,
because,
that's true.
Because like you have to watch the thing like 3 or 4 times to realize, oh, he didn't kill the guy. Oh, he didn't, murder. That shouldn't be the case. You should be like, if you're selling your trailer, it should be like, okay, you should be clearly like, okay, he didn't kill him. But like the whole time, like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What the heck is going on?
Maybe that's what they were going for. I mean, like, which is like crap in itself. Like they wanted us to think that the Teen Titans are like super like gangster, and then at the end of the trailer you find out that like all of those people really didn't die, and they're just it felt like the Teen Titans were just posers in that trailer.
Yeah, and
I don't know.
And we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens though. I mean, with it could. We never know. I mean, they might have just rushed it because of, San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can't wait to see the Swamp Thing trailer. That's the.
Yeah, dude. That I think will, because it's great material. Like Swamp Thing is
Which one
awesome.
have you read?
Oh, I don't know. It's been a while. Like I just picked it up. I don't even know what it was.
Was it an old cover? Because that's Alan Moore.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Alan Moore.
Okay, he's a good one. He's the good one.
Well, yeah, he's one of the best ones. Like, freaking Watchmen is one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite.
I actually have a video coming up on the comic movie equation on that one, and the title is going to be I found the perfect comic adaptation, because it wasn't perfect. It was near perfect though. The movie and the comic was near perfect. The ending's the only thing that was different, but everything else I was like, wow. Wow. This is actually a good comic book movie. And then the ending
it's probably like if Shazam, when Shazam comes out, like and for me to like look at how like everything matches up to the comic book, because so far it's like extremely accurate. Like I feel
right?
like Watchmen would be like on the top of the list of being like the best adaptation.
I'm excited for Shazam. That's the one out of the whole trailers. Actually, that's what I want to ask you. I know you did your reaction videos. What was the one you're most looking forward to?
So it's funny you say it, because me and my brother were just like saying the other day, is like we should like just do a beside the point episode where we talk about which ones we're looking forward to. So spoiler alert for whenever that video comes out, but like honestly, like and I know we haven't seen the trailers for these ones, but I'm throwing this in here. But Infinity War 2, Spider-Man 2, and Captain Marvel are probably the 3 movies that I'm looking forward to of 2019. In fact, Captain Marvel comes out in March of 2019. Isn't that correct?
I
Or
believe
December.
so.
I don't know. But those are the ones I'm looking forward to the most. But when it comes to all of this new stuff that we recently got, Shazam is on the top of the list. It's probably like by far the best out of any of the ones that I've seen. Like Aquaman, like looks cool, but like I doubt it a lot. But the thing is with Shazam is that you can't really mess up with Shazam on that kind of a movie, because no matter what, people are gonna walk out and say that was a fun movie. Like I'm calling it now. Like that looks like a fun movie, and like you can't have a sucky time with a fun movie. Like that's why Justice League sucks so much. Apart from so many other reasons, is that
don't get me started on that.
The movie didn't know what it wanted to be. Did it want to be funny? Did it want to be dark? No.
Well,
so that's why Shazam is going to be great.
And you could tell though, like Justice League, you could tell when they switched directors. It was like all of a sudden it was really dark, and then it just got bright, and you're like, Whedon took over.
Yeah, absolutely. Like as soon as like the whole like get Superman back in like rebirth of Superman and everything, I was just like, yeah, this is definitely like not Snyder anymore.
Yeah.
It was not good. But the thing about Shazam, and the reason why I'm looking forward to that one the most when it comes to all the stuff that's recently just been dropped, is because it looks like how do I say this? It looks like they can't mess up on it unless something really stupid happens. It looks like something that will definitely like work, if that makes sense. Because it appeals to everyone. It's fun, and it's superhero, and it's action filled, and it looks like it's heartfelt as well. Like it's like a triple threat. Like for sure it's going to do well, and that's why I'm looking forward to it the most.
There's rumors going around because the other one says that Black Adam will not be in the movie, but there are rumors going around that it might be like a secret ending, that he might pop up. Because if you've read the comic, I mean, he's in he's in the second arc, and it's just like,
right. Well, the thing is that they announced a Black Adam movie before Shazam movie ever was mentioned. Did you hear that a while ago?
Yeah, and The Rock is set to be Black Adam, which he's perfect. He looks like him. I'm not gonna...
He would be perfect. Like if he's not going to be in this movie, like if he's not going to be Black Adam at all, that would be the worst mistake to make, because first off, everyone loves The Rock. Second off, like The Rock works really, really well in a happy-go-lucky movie like this. Like Jumanji was like Jumanji 2 was awesome. I freaking love Jumanji.
I haven't seen
that movie. Was Oh, you haven't? It's a
No.
great movie. Like the first movie, awesome, but like when the second one was coming out, I was just like, you're gonna ruin my childhood, and they didn't. It did such a great time. But that's because The Rock, like, was able to make everybody. I don't know, like he's not like, sorry, he's not a serious actor, and I feel like him being like the antagonist in Shazam would be perfect. Like if they don't start him, like if they don't cast him as Black Adam, I'll be definitely super disappointed.
Oh yeah. All right, well, let's wrap things up here because it's getting kind of late. So
for sure.
Yeah. All right, guys, thanks for watching this Comics and Movies. And thank you to our guest, Ryan from Nerdy Blurb TV. If you have not checked out his channel, you need to. It's awesome. I mean, he's got his what is it? The None of This Really Matters, Beside the Point, your Nerd Rant, and your Fan Cams. So check his channel out. Subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and comment down below if you like what you're seeing. We'll be doing this a little bit more often, like monthly, once a month, I'm thinking. So, yeah. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Peace.